Let's get one thing clear. Other than I'm having a bad hair day, I'm not Judge Judy, nor do my assets match that of Judge Judy. A lot of my experiences, specifically about women, come from experiences I've had specifically in bars, listening to music. So I have close band friends and family. And so a lot of my stories or references are just different things I've witnessed and experienced within those environments. One of the things that has always bothered me is seeing women judge other women, and we do it, right? And when we can have and embrace that mentality of sisterhood and being here to support and improve and align and unite and be here for one another, when we can embrace that mindset and not just know it, but embody it, that is the game changer. Often, a lot of times we're in competition. And I've always felt disappointed by this. Ladies, let's get it together. And then my aha moment or my emotional clarity moment, what I've realized, I'm a little judgy, and I'm trying not to be, but I think being able to recognize it is the aha moment. That is the emotional clarity. That is the level up. Man, I wish these women would just be nice to each other. I wish, you get disappointed in your sisters. You're like, why don't these women? And then you're like, Jessica, why are you so judgy? You don't know their life. You don't know their story. And the reality is we're all on different journeys at different times. I know I've said that 1,000,005 times, so this is 1,000,006 times I'm saying this, but we're in different journeys, different paths. So instead of judging, what I can do is I can sit back, recognize what I'm feeling, and then ask myself backward questions like, why am I feeling this? Well, because I'm frustrated that sisters should be here to support each other. Well, why should they be here to support each other? Because I think it's important for community and for our gender, just in society and community. Well, why do you feel that way? Well, and then you keep digging back, why? And what I learn is when I do this, I end up finding out something that might not be as pleasant, but is necessary, that I learn about myself. And for me, I have been bullied multiple times by other women. It could be small things. I had a woman pour a drink on me, but it could be small things like just kind of nudging me, dirty looks, whatever. And I used to let that intimidate me, believe it or not. Even though I'm 6'2" with heels, I did feel intimidated. I don't feel intimidated anymore. And it's not from you can't intimidate me. It's from you're my sister. I love you. And I recognize that you're either experiencing something, have experienced something, you're going through something, and that's why you look at me the way you do. That's why you bully me. Now, it doesn't mean I have to accept it. I can still have my boundaries. But the point is I judged. And the reality is, Jessica, why are you judging? How about, let's try something new, Jessica. Instead of being emotionally intuitive, knowing what the situation is and energy and vibes and behavior, how about we take it a step further into the level of emotional clarity and not just recognize what it is, but understand that there are a multitude of reasons why. And it is not for me to make assessment on where that person should be in their level of awareness. What experiences have they been through? I'm finding in my older years, my more wise years, if you will, mid-40s, I recognize how rare it is to have high quality female relationships. How could you judge them when you're the one that's making the judgments? That seems like a complicated, you know what, I'm still learning how to do these videos. I'm working on it, but that's part of the point too. When I see what I would perceive as bullies, looks, there's not always intent behind it. Sometimes women we're just insecure. Imagine that. And so we might look at someone else and it might be perceived as if, we're like this, like, who is she? But the reality is sometimes we're just admiring another woman. Wow, look at her energy on the dance floor. Look at her smile. She's got this glow, this energy. We can sometimes just be admiring someone and our face doesn't necessarily reflect it. But if you're judging, you're gonna be, why can't we all just be sisters? Why can't we all just support each other? Judge. Judge Judy. Why am I feeling this way? And is it based in reality? Or is it just something up here? Or am I operating on some type of past experience? Women bullying me. Maybe I'm hypersensitive because I have things I've experienced. And that's usually the case. If the goal is to show women that we are sisters, it's that simple, which means we get permission to mess up. We get permission to feel insecure. We get permission to realize that we're judging. We get permission to do that. Why, right? That's usually where I will get to the point of what's causing me to feel this way. And if I can adjust my perspective, my life changes. And I no longer have to worry about, this woman, acting however, which might make me feel uncomfortable. I don't have to worry about that because I'm good with me. And hopefully we can share, be honest, and have these transparent conversations with our sisters that are willing to engage in these types of conversations and just talk about it. And on the flip side, I have felt so inspired and empowered when I meet and get time to spend time with women who are also emotionally aware, perceptive, where they can recognize that they're not perfect, nor should they apply that expectation of perfection onto any other woman. We might have to look in the mirror and we might have to say, wow, Jessica, you're not self-righteous, you judge. And it's not about condemning yourself, it's about recognizing yourself, recognizing what your thought process is. Are you giving off some type of energy because of what's going on in your head? And as a result of your experiences, I go deep. So let me bring it back up. So I'm gonna go from 5,000 meters below, I'm gonna go back up to like 10 meters. So we're going back up, we're resurfacing. At the end of the day, I can't control anybody else. No one else has the ability to control me. No one else has the power to make me feel any certain kind of way. And I've seen lots of women that have in the past at some point maybe posted some passive aggressive, I am in my own power, and all those women haters and blah, blah, blah. That's someone that's hurt, right? That's someone's feeling such an intense emotion or place of not having had a voice or having had control. And guess what? I'm not gonna judge her. I will recognize where she might be coming from. I can understand as a woman why she might be saying those things and what the hurt that goes behind those words. I can recognize and see the humanity in my sister and realize that I'm no different than her. We're just on different past journeys and we perceive things differently. I want to close with a message for my sisters. Dear sister, for those of you who have felt insecure, that have felt that you can only be chosen behind closed doors, that you have to stay in the shadows and remain secret, you're worth more. Step out into the light. Make choices that are aligned with you. Dear sister, I pray that when you feel insecure, you have the ability and the awareness to look around and realize that other women also have insecurities and that we are all in this crazy world together. Dear sister, what if for a moment we stop betraying each other and we actually recognize that we have enough value and worth that we don't even need to do that? Dear sister, if you ever have been engaged in conversation where you are either talking about another woman behind her back or are with other women that talk behind other women's backs, I pray that you will have the strength and self-correct, course correct, and or have open dialogue. Be courageous, be bold, have open dialogue with your sisters in the circle and just be like, hey, you know what? I feel like we're kind of getting into this judgy territory and we can recognize that we are not perfect. Dear sister, your value is immeasurable. Don't ever let any other woman or man keep you on the side. All light and love.
Love females who smile back at other females. I love females who are so secure within themselves they can look at you and say, hey, beautiful. I just saw this lady and she was in her garden and she turned around and she said, hey, beautiful. She said, I see you going another lap, huh? She said, keep going, my sister. You got this. I said, well, girl, I see you doing your garden. It's looking beautiful. She said, yeah, just pulling the weeds out, getting all that dead stuff out and getting ready for it to bloom again. She just don't know. She made my day. I was just about to quit until she said, keep going, my sister. You keep going. You keep breaking that sweat. And I'm going to keep on pulling out all this dead stuff. Be confident within yourself enough to be able to speak confidently to another female. Bye for now.